Good evening, good afternoon, maybe to some of you. Thank you for joining us. This is number 4 session for English-speaking community of ENG Education Schools of Knowledge for College 2025. Today, we're going to talk about very important aspects of university admissions. As you already know me, I'm Kate. I'm a senior manager of university admissions at ENG Education Central Office. And together with me today, there will be your dearest counselor, Salma Adam from Burkina Faso ENG Ouaga School. Hello, Salma, and thank you for joining me today for this session.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited about this, and I hope we all learn something throughout this process.
Thank you very much. As we already promised, today we're going to talk about very important issue, which is university application process and timeline. We know that this is not a one-day job, that it takes a lot of work to do it properly. That's why we decided to dedicate the whole webinar to this topic. Right now, before we start, as I told you, this is the whole process, and it includes many different steps. And during this process, there might be some steps that are very specific to you or very specific to any of the countries. The common roadmap that we are going to show to you today, this is mostly true for most of the university application processes. However, please always note that in case there is some specific requirement for some specific universities or colleges in specific countries, you need to be always attentive and careful to what is communicated by the universities on their websites. Okay. And also, please, guys, do not take these as a precise science. It's not mathematics. It's mostly commonly, widely spread practice that we are going to present to you today. So I do have actually 2 slides of this roadmap. And right now you see the first slide, which says to 1 to 7 stages. And it starts with this research of universities and programs, admission requirements, standardized testing, gathering academic records, transcripts, recommendation letters, personal writing, and completing your application forms. And continues to submitting your portfolios or additional materials, depending where you're going to study. You also don't forget that university applications are charged, that you need to pay the fees. And at the end of the day, you just need to simply submit your application. So submission process is long as well, and you need to make sure that you have done it all the way. Track your application statuses, then prepare for the interviews in case you're requested to do so. Definitely submit your scholarship or financial aid applications. And at the end of the day, you need to respond to the offers. Please do not worry if I just run through this timeline very quickly, because now together with Salma, we are going to stop at each level and explain in details what kind of actions you need to do. But right now, here is the poll question that I want you to answer. Sorry, apologies. There is a poll question. What stage of university application process do you find most challenging? So there is no, as you know, guys, with the poll question, there is no right or wrong answer. This is what is true for you, because all of us, we are in different context and environment, and this might give you a completely different perspective for the university applications. Thank you very much. I see a lot of people are submitting their responses. Thank you for that. Please get active. We want to have as many responses as possible. Okay, that's very good. We're almost at 90%, so it's very good. Thank you very much. Go ahead. I'm going to give you like 5 more seconds to respond, and then we'll stop the poll. Okay, so I'm going to stop the poll. So I think, can you see the results, guys? Salma, can you see the results? Yes. So
Yes.
it's actually probably almost equal with researching universities and writing essays, standardized testing, and completing application process. I mean, I would say that is quite fair answer because I think I mentioned before there are around 45,000 universities around the world and around 44,000 plus something only in the US. And I understand very well that you might not be very clear and proficient at first into researching universities and writing essays. Yes, guys, I agree with you. It's probably very difficult to um, respond to the very trivial question and at the same time be somehow distinguished from the cohort of the applicants. Standardized testing, yes, it might be challenging depending on the curriculum you're studying as well, because standardized testing as like SAT or SAT as an admission requirement for Ivy League universities is quite challenging because it's a completely different type of testing system, which you might not be experienced. Okay, completing applications, yes, there it has the least percentages, but I agree with you because some of the applications, they are very detailed, they are very long, they are tiring, and sometimes the questions are not that clear, and we need to dig in and find the right way to answer the question. So thank you very much for your participation. Now over to you, Salma. So let's start to look inside deeper into these processes. Please, Lord is yours.
Okay, thank you, Kate, for the introduction. So during the poll, I realized most of the responses were talking about researching universities and how that is challenging. Yes, that can be very challenging for especially students who are now going into this process. So I'll share some link with you where you can brainstorm on some questions. But first of all, with these questions that you ask yourself, I want you to think of them more as a journaling exercise, brainstorming exercise, and not an interview, especially if you've not thought of these questions before. And also you speak with your parents, your mentors, your counselors, to guide you through. So you ask yourself questions like, why do you want to go to university outside of your home country, for instance? What is your budget for higher education? Because you need to know if you need a scholarship or not. What do you want to study? You do research into the programs that the university has to offer, their reputation, their ranking, and all of these. You attend college first also. And of course, your counselors are there to help you with some of these, information and share some resources with you. So as you can see, the heading has been underlined. That's because it's a link. So when Kate shares these slides with you, click on that, and then you have access to some resources that I've shared with you that can help you go through these brainstorming activities. And then you'll be able to generalize, like make a point of each university and what it has to offer. Then finally, together with your parents and counselors, you make a decision. Now, the second point, you understand the admission requirements. So as you're researching the universities, you're also looking into the requirements that you need to provide. For instance, whether you need to take a standardized test. It would also depend. For instance, with the IB programs, you don't need, for some universities, you will not need to take the language tests, but then they'll give you, you have to have, for instance, English B, HL, a certain grade to not take this. So all of these will depend on your research. And then, as I said, on that tracker I will share with you, you'll be able to put each university as well as what is required. And based on that, you can make a final decision. Next will be, Kate, could you move on, please?
Sorry, I was for a second out because my internet dropped. You are
Okay.
are you on these standardized tests?
Yeah, we talked about the standardized tests. Now we are on the gathering transcripts and academic reports. So you contact your university, university guidance counselor, you request an official transcript. You don't use your school's report cards, like the one you get after every trimester. That's not what you use, but you have to contact the UGC and then they will give you an official transcript for the application. And then you ensure that all informations are accurate and complete. Kate, could you please move on to the next slide? Yeah, so with request letters of recommendation, this is another very important point because you see, universities are looking for mainly like American university, Canadian universities, and now most universities actually looking for holistic applicants. Like they want a holistic profile, so they're not just looking at your academics. So they want to see what kind of student you are outside the classroom, for instance. So letters of recommendation speaks to this, and you have to be able to provide your teachers and your counselors with some sort of a brag sheet. I have put that there and it's linked. So when you get the slides, you can click on that and then you have some questionnaires that you need to go through, answer them, so that anytime you're requesting for a recommendation letter, you provide this to the teachers. And most importantly, you request for recommendation from teachers or the teachers that you know will give you a good recommendation, someone that knows you very well. Holistically is best, both in the classroom and out of the classroom. Then number 6, we talk about personal statements and essays. Now, we talked about this in one of the K4C sessions, and the other counselor, Natalie, gave us an elaborate explanation on how to go about this. However, I've shared this essay tracker whereby you list your universities and what kind of essays they are asking for, and then it can help you track it. Because yes, you cannot remember everything about every university. So having these trackers help you stay organized. And remember, the essays need to be authentic, original, personal. You highlight your strengths and your aspirations, and you highlight any challenges you've overcome during your education process. They want to know who you are or what you have been through during the education process. Next point, Kate, please. Okay, then point 7 is where you follow the instructions carefully. One thing I tell students is during university applications, when you're doing your research, make sure you read everything. Like, don't just answer anything without reading. Because I found that this is one minor thing, but then it can really make a difference. Like taking your time to read what is required of you. You pay attention to the details. Keep copies of all completed applications. Then you also have to check the factual information accuracy. Make sure that your spelling, grammatical errors have been corrected. And you can do this alone. That's why you have counselors, you have teachers. Let them go through your applications before it's finally submitted. And some programs will also ask you to submit portfolios. For instance, if you're going to do design, they specifically have instructions for what should go into those portfolios. So you make sure that you go through the admission requirement, application requirements, and if this is something you need to work on, as soon as possible, you start for it. So arts, design, and then include a variety of work to showcase your skills. Ensure materials meet the size and format requirements. They will give you specifically what it should look like. So reading again is the way to go in order to know what to do with what. And of course, if you have questions, your UGC is always there to help. Next slide, please. Okay, so with regards to application fee, sorry, let me take water. Thanks. With regards to the application fee, every university has the amounts to pay, specific amounts to pay. Sometimes you can ask for an application waiver. For instance, in the case of US, when you're using the Common App, we'll talk more about that in following slides. You can speak with your counselor if payment is a challenge. For instance, if you're applying to 5 universities, and you have to pay, for instance, $150 for each university, that's a lot. So you could speak with your UGC and they would direct you and guide you on how you can request a fee waiver. Now, UCAS is a platform for submitting applications to UK universities. It only gives you up to like 5 applications to do, and there is a fee for that. But as I said, it depends. If cost is going to be a problem, there are some universities that you can even do a direct application to with a fee waiver. So it all depends. You speak with your UGC and they will guide you on how or what to do with this. Point 10 is when you submit your applications. You meet deadlines. Deadlines are very important. Like, it's non-negotiable. So you have to be organized, use a calendar, track important dates, and don't wait till the last minute to submit applications. So many times systems get jammed up and at the last minute, you find out that you're not able to submit the application. So you ensure all materials have been received. Sometimes there are some universities that would give you some leeway whereby you can submit documents after the deadline. So all of this also has to do with reading exactly what the requirements are to know when exactly all these materials need to be gone or need to be received by the universities. Kate, next slide, please. Kate, are you checking this?
As you wish, you're doing it very well. So
Okay, thanks.
yeah, okay, I can take it from you so we can have a little break. Yes, guys, so the next step will be the tracking your applications. What is the key important thing here to know? Most of the universities, they, after applications are submitted and they accept them, they will open some accounts for you on their university portals. So every time you are receiving the communication after the application, you need to read it from A to Z. What is required, what is given, what they are asking you to do. So, and they give you the portal and they'll tell you, you know, you can track your application there because we're going to communicate about the applications over there. So in case you do not see the communication or you do not check your communication and miss something important, it will be on you because there is nobody else that has access to that information. So what does it mean? Just remember, you as an applicant are the primary contact for every university. So therefore, every communication from the university comes directly to you and to nobody else, even to your university guidance counselor. So the counselors, they do not receive this communication. So the tracking the application, following up the university communications, it is 100% your responsibility and you need to be very accurate there. Okay. So we do have another step, which is a little bit sorry guys, the optional step, because not every university requires interview. But I know that you are very ambitious kids. You are, which is completely great. You are applying to the top universities, and top universities mostly they request an interview with the student. So this interview is a specific additional part of your application that needs to be treated especially carefully as well. During the interview, everything matters. The language you speak, how well do you respond, how well do you listen, what is your score, what is your dress code, so like, and where are you located as well. Honestly, I can tell you that I've done many interviews in my life. For example, for the job interviews as well, online interviews particularly. I've done the interviews, just to be honest, for the Oxford University admissions as well. So I was in the selection committee, and you know what? We pay attention to everything. I mean, what is the environment? I mean, you need to give the impression to the interviewer they're very serious and motivated about your application. So, I mean, make sure when the interview is scheduled, you have quiet environment. You don't have distraction. You don't have some kind of the weird background when you are sitting, and you are not overdressed like with the tie and the suit or something. Or I mean, you can do it if it's your normal, you can wear even the school uniform in case you do it, but make sure that you don't look like a too casual, like you are going outside to play football, okay, or just the hang out with your friends. So the behavior at the interview should be also professional. The impression starts from there, and on top of that, how well do you respond? To give you some tips, the internet space is full of real interviews, full of recommendations, and there are some guidance of interview questions as well. I suggest that in case you are requested to do an interview, to sit down, brainstorm all possible questions, maybe some of the trivial questions like, why do you want to study that major, or why that college or university? You need to remember, guys, the most trivial questions are the hardest to answer. Okay, so you need to take your time and to create your story. That's very, very important. Okay. Let's move on. Salma, I want to take here.
Okay. So applying for scholarships and financial aids. Now, this is equally another important aspect of the application process. There are some universities that would say that upon submitting your application, they automatically consider you for scholarships. However, there are others that have different application processes for their financial aids. So reading, again, very, very important to know exactly what is required and what supporting documents are required so that you can prepare in advance. The next will be respond to offers. So after all these applications have been submitted, then the offers come. So if it's an acceptance, you need to review because we apply to several universities, right? You have to have a tracker again where you have all the universities, the acceptances that you've received and what those offers are, if they're financial aids, what are the packages, etc., to help you make an informed decision, and of course with your parents. And also there is a date. You need to make sure you are following that deadline of acceptance because there are dates for specific acceptances. Okay, so that is non-negotiable also. All right, next. Next, please.
Yes, do you see the next slide? Yeah, and the final stage will be prepare for the enrollment, guys. Because the enrollment is not just you are enrolled and it's done. There will be always procedures to be sent. There will be always the deadline to be sent to tell you when is the first essential day to be already at the university. That takes kind of the period of planning for your visa application, then the housing, because depending on your university and country you are applying, you might need to find your own
I think
house.
you're breaking.
I'm sorry, is it still the same? Is it breaking?
It's good now.
Oh, sorry, I told you
No, it's okay now.
yeah. So this everything takes process, guys, because the first week, which is called as orientation week at the universities, it is very important because during the orientation week, you are meeting all major lecturers, you are meeting your classmates over there, you getting familiar with the facility, and depending on the universities, this facility can be very huge, and you need to know how to navigate through it. So you just need to make sure that you are definitely making your traveling arrangements so that you attend orientation week as well. Okay. Transportation and housing, as I told you, at the university destination as well. So it depends where is the country and what is the city, what are the transportation logistics over there. And as you know, guys, if you're traveling too far or might be even somewhere very close, flights can be very challenging because as we are really facing a lot of fee increase into the airfare recently. So that's why your arrangement, like way before, few months before the travel is very, very important. And I can add you some more recommendation here. So because we know, you already know that the ANCO has like a huge network of alumni already on like in 42 countries around the world. So it's always very reasonable to ask your counselor if there is, if they can find any ANCO alumni in that particular university that you are going to attend. If they can find one, it will be very wise to get in touch, so to get some additional tips and recommendations. Or every university almost supports and provides supports from the students to student. So it's very advisable to get connected to the current student of that university, so you have easier transition to that place. Okay, so guys, as I told you, just a reminder, put your questions in the Q&A, and I'm about to launch the second poll for today. which is, you already see it. When does Common App Application Portal open for the fall 2026 admission cycle? Is it June, July, August, or September? Because as you already know, probably this 2024 cycle university applications are almost over, almost. There will be some. So I'm pretty sure there are many of you who are looking at the US universities and who already explored that. Thank you very much. I'm having lots of very good answers here. Go ahead, just a few more activities and we're gonna finish the poll. We're asking about the Common App because it's like a widely used platform for the university applications, particularly if we're talking about the US universities. Okay, we have quite good participation. In 5 seconds, I'm going to close the poll. Please click on your response. Okay. I'm going to end the poll right now and sharing the results. And as usual, our students are always right. Yes, August is the right time. The 1st of August is the period when the common application is already settled for the next cohort, which means, so guys, if you are applying to the US universities, please take advantage over this period while you are on holiday. Open the application portal, like fill in quietly, fill in like with no stress and anxiety, at least some of your demographic information there, and then talk to your counselor what to do, and definitely have your counselor to proofread your application. And yeah, right now, I'm sorry if this slide looks a little bit complicated. Tell me if it looks. On this slide, maybe I'm not the most creative person and I'm not very smart ways art here, but I tried to show you these like the 14 steps that we shared before on a timeline, how it works. And I have it North Hemisphere and South Hemisphere. And why do I have it? What is the key difference between the North Hemisphere and South? Because the studies in the Northern Hemisphere of the world, they usually start in September. However, there are universities that might offer you January intake, but most commonly it starts in September. So as today, maybe many of you are from Southern Hemisphere schools, you might also want to explore the opportunities of starting the school in January, but in North Hemisphere as well. In both cases, this calendar and timeline, starting the activities for the application and the cycle when starts and ends, in both cases, it is the same. From September to May, this is very active period to kind of imagine these 14 stages just across this, how much is it? 8 months, yeah? 9 months. 9 months period. It's very, very important. However, depending on the steps, you need to make sure that you fit into the deadline. In case you are interested in the universities that start their academic year in January or February, which is the case in, for example, South Africa, and many of their Southern Hemisphere universities, the same can apply to Australia, New Zealand, or Brazil. The application portal and application period is very actively starts in March. By the end of April and May, almost every application system is already open. Sorry. Talking from South African perspective, in May, all applications are open, but in case you are applying to the STEM programs like engineering or something, they even close very early, which will be the 15th of June as well. So this period is very important. As Salma already mentioned before, application deadlines are non-negotiable, guys. We are ready to help you in any possible way we can do and negotiate on behalf of you with universities. But there is one thing we can never negotiate. This is the deadline. So you need to be very, very much focused on meeting the deadlines. So I don't know how well this image looks for you guys. I would love to have your feedback on that, or I'm happy to accept your help with creating some very nice image of the timeline of university applications. Okay, thank you very much, Salma. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Kate. So over here, we talk about the application portals. These are not comprehensive portals. Only what we have done here is to give you some portals that some countries would use. But even for that, you still have like a limit of number of universities that you can apply to for some of them. So let's take them first. For the Common App, Kate already mentioned, for mainly US universities. However, you also have some universities that are not necessarily in the USA. Sorry, I get a call that keep cutting this. Some universities that are not necessarily in the USA, however, are English-based or have an American style of education and are on the Common App. The date you're seeing there, August 1st, is when the Common App is like sort of opens. So that is when it opens for each cohort. The next one will be UCAS, and that's for UK universities. For this, you have up to 5 universities that you can apply to, 5 programs that you can apply to. And it also opens on 13th of May. However, as I said, there are some universities that you can, in the UK, that you can do a direct application to with a fee waiver. So you speak with your university guidance counselor on whenever you have like issues of costs. Then the next is Campus France. These are mainly for public universities in France. It opens in October 1st. There is up to about 7 programs you can apply to using the Campus France. And there's an application fee. So you pay one application fee and you're able to apply to about 7 programs. There is a StudyLink that is mainly for Dutch universities. It also opens 1st of October. Then you have the OUAC. This is mainly for universities in Ontario. So other provinces in Canada would have other means through which you can do the application, either directly to the university or what depends. So research is important. Asking your university guidance counselor when you're not sure of anything is very important. The Uni Assist is for German universities and also opens in May. Then we have the last 2, the Match and the Mito. I'm sure by now most of you have heard of this. These are platforms that sort of help students in getting admission to universities. Now there's a difference. The difference between the Match and the Mito is that with the Match, students put in their profiles, they update their profiles and whatever information that is required of them. Then once it launches, universities can go on the platform, go through their profiles, and then when a university reaches out to you and says that, dear this student, we are interested in giving you an admission. Now, it's up to the student to say, yes, I accept, or no. When you accept or when you show interest, that does not necessarily mean that you have to go to that university, but that is when they provide you with more information for you to be able to make a decision as to whether you're accepting it or not, or whether you are going to, accept their offer or not. With Mito, however, when the university reaches out to you, also with Mito, you have to update your profile and put in some informations. And the more information you put in for these profiles, for these platforms, the better. Because when the university goes on and for Mito, they reach out to you, they are going to reach out saying that they are interested in your profile and they want you to submit an application. So Mito is asking you to submit an application, whereas Match is saying that they're giving you an offer. So that's the difference. I hope it's clear. But if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to write in the question and answer column. I think it's about that. Okay.
Sorry. Yes,
It's
yeah.
about that, right? Is there any other slide?
Yeah. One more.
Okay.
One more, guys. So as I told you already, actually, no, sorry, not I told you, but we presented the whole process, which is the university application process. But I thought definitely as well that the checklist for you will be very helpful as well. So this is the screenshot of the first part of the checklist. What I can do right now, I will share the real checklist. What is actually linked to the presentation, which you can copy from here. This will be the spreadsheet of the checklist, guys, for you. Can you see this sorry, screen? Salma, can you?
Yeah, we see.
Yeah, so this is the
Yeah.
checklist. So you have a view. You can open this checklist, but please download a copy or make a copy for yourself, because this is a template. So this is not for you to edit this template, but I share the link with there. All the stages that we talked about are here. But please also remember that not every single line will be proper for you. You might want to skip something because it's not relevant for you, or you might want to add something which is relevant for you. This is just kind of the backbone or skeleton, like a little bit rich skeleton for your checklist, but it might need to be adjusted based on your needs as well. Okay, so I think one of the things that we talked, Salma, about is about the language proficiency test. Sorry, that was a time when I dropped out. I want to highlight this language proficiency test for you guys, because some of the Southern Hemisphere schools, most of you, you are considered to be the English-speaking countries and the schools, but it depends where you apply, because the UK universities might require English proficiency test as well, in case you don't have more than 3-year experience of studying in English. But in case you want to go to the UK universities or study in the UK, all of you will be required to submit UKVI IELTS test. Okay. So this is the English proficiency test requirement for the UK visa that needs to be followed up carefully. As most of you, you are very proficient in English. Most of you are IB students as well, and you already might have skills for this test. It will not be difficult for you to pass this test with a good score. But what might be challenging, timing might be challenging. So you need to plan for that test as well in advance. Okay, so that was my final point for you. Right now, also, if you remember, and I hope you remember very well, we are sharing this survey with you for this session, and we will also have the assignment for you, which is linked already here on the slide, but I'm gonna also send you the letter with the recording of this session and the assignments separately, probably tomorrow to everybody, and definitely recording of this session. These are like the main points we wanted to highlight today. I'm pretty sure there are lots of questions about this topic. We are more than happy to answer to any of your questions. Me and Salma, if you wish to speak, guys, please raise your hand and we unmute yourself, or we can bring you to the room so you can speak loudly. Okay. Yes, Alisa. Alisa, yeah. Sorry, what is that? Allowed to talk. Yes, Alisa, you are already in the room. You are welcome.
So I have a question about, like, let's say the UK universities, like what's that like timeline for you to like submit your applications?
UK universities, as we already said, UK universities, UCAS is the main portal. So right now in May, university application portals will be open. So depending on the program, there are two main deadlines that you need to know about the UK. If you are applying to Oxford, Cambridge, to any medical program, to any dentistry or veterinary program in the UK universities, application deadline will be 15th of October, very early, October. Remember that. On the other hand, all the other applications will be 5th of January 26 or 15th of January 2026. It's mostly 5th of January. Sometimes they change it, but just imagine that you have like at least September, October, November, and December to prepare your applications.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Q&A. As DP1 student, what kind of documents can we start gathering for the applications and scholarships? Okay, you are typing, Salma, but yeah, you can answer that question while we're typing.
Okay, so DP1 students, I would advise you to start with the university list. Okay, so this is when you do the research. Remember, I shared some links in the chat. That will be very helpful for you in keeping track of this information. There is a link that says how to choose a university, a step-by-step guide. That is a very, very, very useful blog. I think that all of you should go through. And the one that talks about university lists and personal essay tracker, that would also help you as you do your research or as you brainstorm with your family and counselors. You are able to outline these in the tracker, to make it easily accessible, because you cannot keep everything in your head. Like, it has to be down so that, whilst you are making these decisions, all these factors that you have put in place, you are easily able to access and then decide on them. So basically, I'll tell you to start with the university list. So research
Yes.
first, do the university list.
Yeah, Salma, but let's address more specifics here because the students particularly asking the documents we start for the application. So if you can type over there. So
Document.
first of all, guys, yeah, documents will be, first of all, academic records and transcripts. So what we realized, you might not be, for example, you might studied somewhere else before you came to ENCO school or or enrolled in DP program if you're a DP student. So you will need at least last 4-year academic transcript. That makes in general grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. So if you studied in any other school, it is a very, very good time to obtain those old transcripts and bring to your counselor and keep the copies for yourself and upload on your My Learning profile because you are already Southern Hemisphere schools, you are already on My Learning. So this is academic record. What I would suggest for you as well, if you are already determined to where are you going to apply, if you're applying to the US university, start brainstorming and writing your college essay. At least they choose the titles and start drafts because it takes time to collect it. For the scholarship information, again, depending what universities you are, the scholarship information in most cases or financial aid will require financial documents of your family. So I would talk to my parents and tell them, guys, like my dear parents, we might need your financial documentations of the family, which is their, I don't know, the job certificates, bank statements, and so on. So it might take time for them to kind of prepare all the documents properly. So at this stage, you definitely can take care of this. And as Salma suggested, definitely you are starting with this university list because that requirements will depend on university. Salma, there's a question. Can I apply in many universities in different countries? You are typing. No.
Yeah.
No. Yes,
No.
you can. It depends how much you can prepare because applications are quite time consuming, energy consuming. Yeah.
Okay, I see that someone asking for the links again. I would reshare it if you didn't get it.
The chats, please go
I
ahead.
put some links in the chat.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Links again. Yes. Can we start update LinkedIn profiles and reach out to ENCO alumni? Oh, absolutely. That's a wonderful idea. That's great idea. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like anonymous. That's a wonderful idea. Definitely, yes. You can look for ENCO alumni. We recently had elected the ENCO Alumni Network Chair as well, who is our former student. And there will be some other activities coming from ENCO alumni. So you definitely follow the news, guys, over there. This is wonderful. I mean, you are more than welcome to contact to anybody. Yeah. When will Northern Hemisphere schools be put on MIA learning? MIA learning? Maya learning. Maya.
I think they're saying Maya Learning.
Oh, okay, sorry guys. From September you have access to it. So it's actually August will be already your accounts are already set. We are working on kind of making all the preparation for you. And yes, it will be the August will be published and September it will be what is My Learning? It's Maya Learning. Salma, you want to explain that?
I think it's Maya Learning.
It's My Learning. That's okay.
Same.
Yeah.
Maya Learning. Okay. What is Maya Learning? Well, it's the portal that we're going to use for university applications. So it's going to replace CLFO, but that will start for Northern Hemisphere. That will start in September for students. I hope I answered that.
I think you used C alpha before, guys. It is the substitution, actually. We are moving from C alpha to mile learning, which is more advanced tool. Yeah, there is a question about academic. What if a student wrote the GCE ordinary level and then came to ENG? Do you bring transcripts from 4 and 5? Yes. Depending where you're applying. If you are applying to the US universities, as I told you, last 4 years of high school is very important. And yes, you need to obtain those transcripts. You need to contact to your schools where you attended the school and make sure you obtain those transcripts, so then you don't run out of time submitting of your documentations. Okay, I don't see any more questions in the chat, so thank you. In the Q&A box in the chat, Salma shared all the resources. Oh, sorry, guys, did I share this? I think I did not. I just shared with you the survey. The survey for this session. As always, we're asking you to submit this survey. And also we want you to be very attentive with the assignments, because some of the assignments previously you missed them as well. We are very, very much motivated to give you the certificate of accomplishing Knowledge for College online training sessions. And your assignment responses is the main tool for us to assess that and award the certificate to you. So last week, and actually on Monday as well, I sent another reminder with all the links to the assignments, which you can submit and fulfill in case you have not done so yet. Okay. I guess that's it. Georgie, no, the hand disappeared. Georgie,
We have a question.
Mm,
Yes, George?
okay, we need to bring. Yes, you are welcome to unmute yourself and speak. Was it an accident hand raise? Anyway, thank you very much for attending this session. I hope you found it really useful and you are now more aware of the processes that you need to go through for the proper university applications. And always remember, your counselors are there for you to help you with every step. What is required is open communication from you. Thank you very much. Salma, thank you very much for being here with me.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, everyone. I hope this has been helpful.